Hi, everyone. So glad to be here with you all. I hope you're doing well, no matter where you are in the world. I'm in Northern California, and the sun is shining, so I'm pretty happy. And I'm happy to be here answering these questions. But before we jump into the questions, I want to remind you to visit welcometovenus.com, download the app. It's free for a limited time, and you can submit questions, hear from a psychologist like myself, been practicing for 25 plus years, board certified sex therapist, all the things, part of the LGBTQ plus community. So I would love to hear from you, and I'm happy to support with my wisdom and my years of experience and my lived experience, also not just professional. So visit welcometovenus.com and download that app. All right, let's jump in because I know I only have a few minutes. Let's start with Bailey's question today. I met a really sweet girl last summer when I was subletting a room in her flat. We stayed in contact after that, and I'd consider us good friends at this point. The thing is, she sees the world almost entirely through her trauma lens. She spends hundreds on therapy, yoga, retreats, and so on, which is great. But it feels like every conversation ends up being about an ex, an abusive relationship, her dead mother, or her distant father. I can handle that mostly, but recently she started finding things I say triggering. For example, I suggest we watch Naked from 1993, Speech and Conversation, and she said she worried I might share dangerous views like her brother, which I don't at all. Basically, I like this friend, but I feel like I have to constantly watch what I say so I don't trigger her. Now that I'm in my 30s, I'm torn between just letting the friendship fizzle out and trying to maintain something healthy. Bailey, you're in a tough spot, my friend. It sounds like she's doing everything she can to provide scaffolding for herself to function. And it's like anything could throw her for a curveball, which puts you in a position of walking on eggshells. And it's very, very draining emotionally and time consuming to navigate any relationship where you're walking on eggshells. And it sounds like it's really like exhausting. And, she's doing the best she can. I mean, she's doing lots of things to maintain her mental health. And yet she can't really deal with much of what naturally happens in life, where life throws us things, and conversations sometimes are unpredictable, how people's perspectives and so on. And we have to be able to have enough resources internally to self-regulate, stay grounded, regulate our nervous system, and engage in different conversations and perspectives with people who have possibly differing viewpoints. And to avoid those situations, it's really tough because they're all over in life. So I just think that it sounds like if it's really weighing on you, which it sounds like it is, and you've done like a lot to be supportive of this friend and to stay in relationship with this friend, and it's been an ongoing issue, and you're walking on eggshells, it sounds like it may either you feel like she could possibly sit down and be receptive to your experience and making a suggestion of how maybe you could both navigate this differently. And if it feels like you don't think she's resourced enough to do that, and maybe she'll feel overwhelmed by it and so on, and you're not feeling invested in the relationship to that extent, you may just let the relationship naturally fizzle out. And instead of trying to maintain something that isn't healthy, lots of relationships take their course and they don't last forever. I think more often than not, they don't last forever, and that's okay. Not everybody's meant to be in our lives forever. So remember that too, that it's okay for a relationship to have a beginning, like a friendship, to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Any relationship, romantic relationship too. And it doesn't have to last years and years and years for you not to have gotten something really beautiful out of it, and to recognize how it's not working for you any longer. It's okay. All right, Bailey, good luck to you. Thanks so much. CC. submitted a question. Here we go. I've been seeing someone for a year and it's going great, but I can't stand their friend group. They went to college together and have maintained the same large queer friend group since. We are both in our mid-30s. Whenever I'm with them, I feel like I'm in high school again. I don't like the friendship dynamic, and I've never been good at mind games either. I feel incredibly insecure after spending time with them, and I feel like I can't talk to my partner about it because there's just enough plausible deniability. For example, every year they rent an Airbnb and throw a New Year's Eve party together. Even though I attended with my partner last year, they didn't add me to the group chat and had me pay my portion through my partner. They used this group chat to discuss groceries, activities, to share pictures and memes, and the only other person excluded was someone else's partner. Although this could have been done with good intentions, it's just enough plausible deniability to make me seem insecure for bringing it up. And this is exactly why I dread spending time with my partner's friends. On the other hand, I know that a big queer friend group is hard to find, so I understand why they're protective with newcomers. Am I holding on to high school loser feelings? Should I power through until they accept me? Or is this a sign that I should hold out for someone meant for me? Someone who also can stand this friendship dynamic. Yeah, I think it's a tough one when you're with somebody where you just don't vibe with their friends and you also feel excluded. And then if you bring up your needs and your concern, then you somehow will be seen as insecure or needy, and then you become the problem. The issue here is that you want to be included. You are in a relationship with somebody who has a tight, close-knit group of friends that date back years. And I think it's important to listen to your experience. It's valid and you matter. And this is your free time. Time is priceless. It is finite. And how you spend your time and with whom you spend your time really matters. So either you communicate and just take the risk of them thinking you're insecure, which I don't see you as insecure. I see that you're feeling like you're being excluded, and you are quite literally being excluded. Here you are at this, you're part of this event, but yet you're not part of the banter that comes with this New Year's event that happens yearly that you're expected to attend with your partner. So you are quite literally being excluded. So that's not a perceived, like an insecurity and a sort of a distortion. I think it's actually really happening, and I think you got to communicate. And you're in this relationship, so it's worth trying. And I do think it's telling when your partner has friends that you can't vibe with at all. I've been in that kind of situation. In hindsight, I realized it told me a lot that I just was ignoring. So I know that's not totally clear, but I want you to come away recognizing there's nothing wrong with you and that you are literally being excluded and your feelings matter. And I would encourage you to communicate if this relationship matters to you and your partner is expecting you to spend time with these friends, and that it's not workable if something doesn't change. And the only way that can happen is if you honor your feelings and communicate. Good luck, Cece. Lucy, during COVID, I developed, let's see here, let me move this up a little bit. During COVID, I developed really severe depression. I'm in the process of crawling out of that hole, but one of my biggest struggles is rekindling friendships. I fell off the face of the earth to most of my friends. It felt impossible to socialize while I was in that state. I dreaded facing anyone. I don't know how to start the process of reconnection, and I have a lot of anxiety about facing my friends, even though I don't have any reason to believe they dislike me besides me abandoning the friendship. During this time, I went through many significant life changes too. The idea of opening up about those changes is really hard for me. Is this a sign I should be paying attention to? Should I focus my efforts on making new friends and connections without that baggage, or would it be good for my growth to come clean with everyone? First of all, Lucy, you are not alone. During COVID, so many people dove into a depression. They're still, like you, working on crawling out of it. And I would imagine if any of these people that you lost connection with blamed you in some way or shamed you in some way for having this experience, then they're not your friends anyway. So you don't need them anyway. I think that if there are people that you are regularly thinking of and missing the friendship, and what's holding you back is fear that they're going to be judgmental of what you went through during this period the last few years, or the fact that you actually became depressed secondary to COVID, which was again challenging for so many. I mean, I think it's worth taking that risk because likely they will be very understanding and they too may be able to relate, because so many of us struggled and are still struggling with it. So yeah, if those are friendships that you're missing and you're thinking of them regularly, I would try and connect with them and show up with some vulnerability. Just state the facts, what's happened for you, that you've been depressed, COVID was really tough, and you're crawling your way out of it, and that you miss them, you miss their friendship, and you're reaching out, without an expectation of what the outcome might be. You just wanted to let them know you miss them, and that you're hoping to connect again. And at the same time, I think it's great to meet new people. You want to have a solid support system. I wouldn't just put all your eggs in one basket. I think we should be doing our best, especially right now, to meet new people, make connections, and then also make an effort to rekindle old relationships. So yeah, Lucy, good luck. And I hope it all works out really well for you. I've got one more question here from Brittany. My girlfriend just started a new job after being unemployed for a while, and I am thrilled that she found a job that she loves. Her new company is small, it's cool, and it's queer. However, I'm experiencing severe jealousy toward her coworkers, and I don't understand why I suddenly feel so jealous. The main part is that several of the people she will be working with most closely are extremely attractive. I'm so anxious that she will fall for one of these people. I've never met them, but I stalk them on social media. These people have great hair, they're thin, they have multiple Ivy League degrees, they come from good families, and they almost certainly have less baggage than me. I hear her laughing on work calls from the other room. I see her texting her coworkers all the time. I hear her talking about planning after work activities for the group, and I am just filled with sadness. Due to the nature of my career, I will probably never have a work environment like that. Our relationship has been rocky the past few years. I want to get married, but I'm scared to bring it up. She's so excited about a fresh new start to her career. What if she starts feeling and I don't have the rest of it. But here's the deal. I have enough. So, Brittany, I think that you're comparing yourself. Like, she's choosing to be with you in this relationship. She calls you her girlfriend. There's a reason for that, because she's into you. She's choosing every day to be with you. So the fact that you're comparing yourself from your perspective, how you see yourself through your lenses, that's not the way she sees you. Oftentimes the way we see ourselves in the world and the way the world sees us is very different. So you're feeling insecure and threatened by the folks that she's working with, her new colleagues, and you hear her laughing and making new connections. And then you're looking at it as you're not good enough. So somehow it's taking away from what you have to offer her and who you are in the world. And I need you to stop comparing yourself and think about the fact that she's choosing you. Has there been issues? It sounds like there were issues in the relationship where it was rocky. It's been rocky for a few years. Are you noticing that it's gotten more rocky most recently? And if so, is that because of a behavior or thoughts, feelings that you're bringing to the table and projecting onto the situation? Or is she pulling away? Is she spending less time with you? Is she feeling more distant? So I want you to really have an honest sit down powwow with yourself and think about how you may possibly be projecting or undermining your sense of safety and security in the relationship based on perceived fears that they're cooler than you, that, she's going to feel attracted to them because you're feeling insecure. The other thing is you got to work on building your self-esteem, your self-confidence, it starts with you. She can't do that for you. So what can you tweak in your life where you can build confidence and self-esteem? Is there anything you can master? Is there any way in which you can take better care of yourself physically, eat better, get more physically active, maybe make some new friends? Maybe you're feeling like your friend group, I don't know, you didn't mention this, but I'm wondering, do you feel like you're not connected to a friend group that is impressive from your perspective? It sounds like you really like the idea. I know our society values like thin and Ivy League education, but not everybody is looking at, valuing people in this way. So are you feeling like you could up level, and is that important to you? So I know that I'm saying lots of things here, and hopefully the most important nugget of information isn't, the two things are, don't compare yourself to them. 3 things. Don't make assumptions about how she's seeing them or experiencing them based on what you're seeing, and go and figure out how to improve your self-esteem outside of your relationship. Thank you all for sharing with me. Thank you for putting yourself out there, being vulnerable, and giving me the opportunity to support you and make suggestions. And I hope you get something out of it. I will see y'all next week. Kisses, hugs. Take really good care. Bye, everyone.